One of my followers wanted me to ask you, did you see Keisha Cole around Death Row, and how you feel about her saying that Pac was leaving Death Row?
So Keisha, she's a little sister of Nutso. Nutso is an outlaw member, outlaw. When Pac was building the Outlaws, he was still adding people. You understand? That's why when most people hear about the Outlaws, they only mention like Gaddafi, Fatal, Napoleon, Castro, Edie, Noble came later. Storm was already there before Noble. I mean, Nutso came later. Whack Deuce came later. Um, so these individuals was people that while Pac was alive, put being part of the Outlaws. So Keisha Cole was the little sister of Nutso. So when she was around, she was a kid. You understand? But she was around. She was a kid. And then after Pac died, she still was around. She was coming around, and you know what I mean. And she was real close to my little brother who passed away. May Allah have mercy on him. So Keisha's family. I don't know. Um, I can't really, Keisha's family, but I can't really call if, she said Pac said that he was going to leave Death Row or not, because you have some people that said that Pac said he was going to leave Death Row. You understand? You have some people that believe that. Do I believe he was going to leave Death Row from what it looked like? No. You understand? Because I remember he told us he never wanted us to sign the Death Row. And he said the reason why I don't want you guys to sign the Death Row is because I'm going to have my own record company under Death Row Records. Outlaw is going to be the first artist. So for a person that was going to lead Death Row, why would he have a record label under it? So, Keisha saying that, I don't know, to be honest. I can't sit here and say, no, he didn't tell her. I wasn't there. You know what I mean?
So Pac and Keisha Cole did meet.
Multiple times, of course. Many, many, many times. She was always in the studio because of Nutso. So Nutso is the brother of Keisha. Um, Yeah, he met her many, many, many times. She was like, but when she was coming around, she was a kid though. She was real young and she could sing. I remember she was singing a few times in the studio. MC Hammer brought them around, but she never got on no albums at that time with Pac. I think she later on, got on the album with Pac. She's family. That's another person we look at like family. I watch her grow up. Really, I think when she first was coming around, she probably was like 9, 10 years old, 11 years old.
Yeah, she said Pac wanted to sign her.
Um, I could see that because I know Pac was he the type of person that was like, man, if he see talent in someone and he was looking to build a record label, I could see that. I could see what Pac would be like, man, she can sing, man. We might have to sign her. So, a couple years when she ready, I could see that happening. Because I remember she did come in the studio and sung, and she already had support of MC Hammer. MC Hammer was still kind of big back then. She already had support of MC Hammer. Her brother was with us doing songs. I could see that, you know. He might have said something like that. Listen, I wasn't. I can believe Pac saying that he was signing her because I know how he was when he hit talent. He'd be like, man, that person dope, man. When they get older, like I can believe that. Maybe because she was young, Pac probably told her, look, don't sign to Death Row. I'm gonna sign you on my label, and she probably thought that he mean he's not gonna be on Death Row. I don't know, but she was around because of Nutso. Nutso was her brother, so he was from East Oakland, and Pac always wanted to have like a Bay Area artist because Pac was representing the Area. So when MC Hammer brought him around, Pac just kind of really like stole him from Hammer. Nutso was gangster. Like with that pen, he was always talking that gangster, that gangster Bay Area stuff. So Pac just levitated towards him, and he always wanted a Bay Area artist. So that was his Bay Area artist.
Did you see Ray J around Death Row?
Ray J, I remember Ray J around when he was a kid. Like I remember, you know what I mean. I remember I remember definitely. I remember because when we used to live in the Oakwood apartments, Ray J used to come around a lot. He was also a young kid, but he was around. Because I seen some people saying he wasn't around like that. I think Suge said that too. Um, I 100% recall Ray J being around Death Row at that particular time. Even if it was just around the apartments, we used to have these apartments. I remember seeing him around apartments that Death Row had these apartments where what was the name of that singing group? They was on one of our last songs. 6 Feet Deep. I think Danny Boy was in an apartment complex. Outlaws was in a it was called I forget the name, the Oakwoods. So Ray J was around a few times, you know what I mean?
And Pac, he was around this time.
Pac was alive. I remember that. You know, so we can't take that away from him. Now, as far as being in the have I ever seen him in the studio? I can't really recall, but I do remember he was around a few times.